honestly, why do we want to walk around with our ass hanging out anyway? Coming off of the rodeo talk and how they had to change up the dress code because y'all standing in the line to get lemonade with y'all ass cheeks hanging out. Why are you doing that? Why should these kids or little children have to look at your ass in public? Like, can we just, I don't know where that come from, but can we just go back to just women having just a little bit of class? Like, if you want to wear that type of stuff at nighttime, in the dark, in the club, like it used to be, after hours when children are supposed to be tucked away and in a house. But you should not be like that in a grocery store. You sure shouldn't be like that at family functions.
You know they're gonna call you a pick me, and you hating on women, and because women should be able to be free and wear and do how they want to, right? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Willie J here, man, with the Healed and Heard Show, man, and I got my girl Kamika here, and we're gonna be talking about something that's very, I would say, not deep, but it's something that everybody is talking about right now, and we came across some research that it talks about what 100 women and 100 men want when it comes to relationships. So we're going to talk about that today. Got my girl Kamika here. She gonna keep me on topic and keep me moving in the right direction. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Today we're going to be talking about what 100 men and 100 women say they want in a partner and why it's just unrealistic.
Yeah. I'm excited about this. I think it's very important to have this type of conversation because some things we're gonna get into that you said, but I feel like this topic is very important because most people don't realize what they ask for, and by the time we talk about it or they talk about it, it's too late because it's gonna cause so much trauma and drama in their life. So I'm ready for it, yeah.
Yeah, we all have a list, but have you ever really taken a look at your list and seen what's really on there? And the list is very extensive.
Oof, Lord Jesus.
And it's also kind of a little crazy. So I'm going to have to read this from my phone, so pardon the phone, because it's literally so much. It's almost like a book. So starting off with the first one, it's financial stability. Not just stable, but above average stable. Driven ambition.
Sorry, my bad. 6 figures. Y'all always say that, 6 figures. So you can go ahead.
Driven ambitious. Always leveling up. Emotional intelligent. Emotionally supportive. Emotionally available. But not too available. What does that even mean? Vulnerable, but still strong. Strong, but still soft. So you want him vulnerable but strong, but you also want him soft but not too soft.
It make sense.
You might be asking for too much.
Yeah.
Leader, decisive, takes control but listens to everything she says. That sounds like a puppet. Dominant energy but never controlling. Confident but not cocky. I get that one. Humble but still that guy. Attractive, in shape, takes care of himself. Good hygiene, well groomed. Stylish, presentable. Good in bed. Protective, makes her feel safe, of course. Respectful, loyal. And what does loyal actually mean? Because along with this research, we've also went over just some videos of just people talking about relationships and what that looked like for them. And do y'all actually honestly subscribe to loyalty, or is it just like it sound good to say?
Also, too, you got to think about this. Loyalty is different for everybody.
Right.
So, you have to define what loyalty is for you, because what loyalty may be for you may not be for somebody else.
Right.
So that's important. And I'm glad that you brought that up because that's on both ends. But you can go ahead. Yeah.
Honest, but knows what to say. Consistent. Now that should have been number one. Communicates clearly, good listener, patient, mentally strong, disciplined, responsible, family oriented, good with kids, provider mindset, generous, spends money on her, but financially smart, successful or on the way to being successful, has time, but also is busy, social, but not too social, has friends, but not influenced by them. And I get that because men, y'all guys, y'all could be very in the loop with y'all friends, and it could get a little, it could get a little weird, especially as an adult man when you value your friend more than you value the woman you lay next to every night.
Yeah,
That's not cool.
I don't know any men in my circle that's like that.
Well, good, you have good men in your circle,
Yeah,
but
I
it's a
don't.
lot of men
Yeah,
out here that will
yeah.
campaign for their best friend or their homeboy before they campaign for their own woman, which is weird.
You know, that's a mental thing and trauma as well too.
Yeah,
You know, yeah,
that unhealed trauma.
yeah, that unhealed trauma.
Romantic,
Mm-hmm.
spontaneous, plans dates, remembers details, celebrates you, support you and your goals, encouraging the independence. So what does that look like? Because that's kind of like conflicting energy, because if you are in a relationship and you're looking for a partner,
Mm-hmm.
then you're looking for partnership. You're not seeking independence.
Yes.
Independence is a solo project. It's not a duo.
Notice men never talk about we independent.
Right.
We never say we independent or I need to be in a relationship and I need to be independent.
Independent.
We never say that. When we're in a relationship, good men, let me say that. Good men. We're not talking about these guys that you know that's really have some unhealed trauma, but good men, we never talk about independence because when we're in a relationship and we love you, we're thinking about how can we make your life better,
Right.
because that'll make us feel happier. So you can
Yeah,
continue the
I
long
get that,
list.
because
Yeah.
independence inside of a relationship is a little
Yeah.
wild, but doesn't compete with success, with
Mm.
her success or with your success.
Mm.
Handles conflict with maturity, no crashing out, doesn't raise his voice. Well, you know, ladies, that have to be double because we tend to be a little emotional and we can get a little loud.
Yes.
So we have to be able to match that energy and be exactly what we want. And I'm also guilty of that, especially being from New Orleans. All my New Orleans girls, please raise your hand,
Lord.
because we just naturally loud. So that can go completely wrong. So we have to learn how to tone it down, because if we want him not to yell, then we can't yell either.
Yeah.
Doesn't shut down, doesn't cheat. We're not even gonna get into the cheating thing because it'll take us to a whole nother. We'll be in a whole nother world.
What Charlemagne said, black men don't cheat. That's what he said.
Charlemagne full of shit. He might not cheat no more. He has evolved as a person.
Yeah.
Doesn't entertain other women, doesn't need attention from other women. Now that's a tricky one, because men, y'all gotta stop that flirty energy. Y'all don't really understand that attention seeking thing that y'all like. Y'all like women that stroke y'all ego, even if you don't want to acknowledge that. You got to have firm boundaries with women.
I understand the boundaries, but also too, ask yourself this question. As a woman, if no woman ever comes and try to talk to your man, look at your man, say anything to your man, eventually that'll make you look at your man like, why no other woman is talking to my man? Because we're gonna be honest, women do like men that are taken more than men that are single.
Okay, so I'm gonna negate that.
Okay, go ahead and help me.
Because I don't need y'all looking at my man. I'm good. I don't like competition. I don't do competition.
We speaking as a
as a group, right? Now I do know that some women do like that. Me personally,
Yeah.
I don't want
I got you. Yeah.
the crowd. Now it's cool that somebody might want it, but I don't want the action of it.
You don't. Okay, I get you.
So the theory of knowing that somebody might also like the person,
but you don't want them.
But
to
I
act
don't.
on
Yeah,
that.
I don't want the
got you.
action.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, just keep the action to yourself. Keep it inside your head.
I got you. Yeah.
Secure but not possessive. That's a good one. Gives reassurance but not constantly. So I don't know what that means. So you want him to reassure you but not all the time?
Yeah, sometimes.
Knows how to lead without telling her what to do. Makes you feel special.
No, not to go past that. Listen to what you just said. Knows how to lead but don't tell her what to do. It seems like this list is wanting a man to be like a woman but still be a man. You want us to have both aspects. How a woman would think, how a man should think, so that we can take care of the woman the way that she wants.
Right. So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
What does tell a woman what to do mean to you? Because you're a guy, so I don't want to internalize what
I
men
got you.
think about that. So why don't you tell the
Protection.
ladies?
It's protection.
Okay.
So telling you what to do on an average day, we're not saying you need to wear this and you need to go here. Not saying that.
Okay.
But speaking in the aspect of if a man tell you, baby, I don't think you should wear that because your ass is hanging out.
That's
right?
understandable.
We're not saying we don't want you to look sexy. We're stating that, like you just stated, you don't want someone to act on because they like your man, right? We know as men, you go out with your booty hanging out. We know as men out there looking at that, right? So now you're bringing that unwanted attention. So if a man come up and smack your ass cause your booty is out, right? Now you want
waiting for
me to
him.
react on that. Now you have put me in a situation where if I don't react, you're gonna be mad at me. If I do react, we could get in a fight. I could get killed. He could get killed. I can go to prison.
Or she
All
could
of
get
these,
killed by
or
mistake.
both of us can get killed, right?
Right, by mistake.
So it's not even a good aspect that will come from that. A good outcome will come from that. So when we're telling you, hey, baby, don't wear certain things, it's not because we don't want you to look sexy. For one, we don't want everybody to see what we have, right? And then two, we know how some men can react to a woman dressed like that. So yeah, that's just one of the ways to how we will tell you what to do without being controlling.
And that's completely fair because honestly, why do we want to walk around with our ass hanging out anyway? Especially looking at this week's, coming off of the rodeo talk and how they had to change up the dress code because y'all standing in the line to get lemonade with y'all ass cheeks hanging out. Why? Why are you doing that? Why should these kids or little children have to look at your ass in public? Like, can we just, I don't know where that come from, but can we just go back to just women having just a little bit of class? Like, if you want to wear that type of stuff at nighttime, in the dark, in the club, like it used to be, after hours when children are supposed to be tucked away and in a house. But you should not be like that in a grocery store. You sure shouldn't be like that at family functions.
You know they're gonna call you a pick me and you hating on women and because women should be able to be free and wear and do how they want to, right? But then they want that freedom, but they also want the protection. Like,
but guess what? Freedom and self-love are two completely different things.
Thank you.
So if you want to call me a pick me because I have standards for myself that don't have nothing to do with a man, then that's cool.
Good.
I'm a pick me then.
As long as you have the tough skin to handle that.
And that's fine. Because there's nothing you can really say that's going to compromise my reputation. So as a person, how you present yourself is important, right? How you show up, that shouldn't have anything to do with a man. And so, yeah, there are moments where you want to be sexy and you want to do that, but read the room.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying you can't wear what you want. We're just saying know when to wear it.
Yeah.
In some events, in some places, it don't fit. Because I don't want to see your ass if I'm at the rodeo with my child. I don't want to see your ass cheeks. Like, it's completely inappropriate.
And why do women why do you all want to show your ass like that all the time?
Because some man that got online and said that was cute and everybody believed it.
But the men that says that are the very men that they say they don't want. So they don't want a man to chase them because of their body, but then they show their body to the men that they don't want to chase them. And then the men that they do want to chase them tell them,
I don't want to see your ass.
We don't want to see your ass. Now we're controlling because we're telling you what we don't like. So it's a lose-lose situation for the good men, and then it's a win-win for the bad men because everybody's still showing their ass. And bad men don't care about if you tell them no, because they're gonna leave you and go to the next. And somebody gonna pinch because, hey, you have a lot of women out here that's having babies by pookies. I mean, so I'm just saying.
And we're not even going to get into that.
We ain't going to get into it? Okay,
because discernment about who you lay with and procreate with, that's a different conversation. Yes. And we definitely, as a group, need to do better.
Yes,
because having spiteful babies, having babies with strangers.
We got to do an episode on that.
We do. And you don't know if there's mental health issues. You don't know if they serial killers in this man's. You don't even know this man's last name. You
You know,
might
I
have learned
saw,
it. You might have never met his mama until you at the
yeah,
hospital pushing out her grandchild.
I saw a thread where women were saying I had a baby by him, but I didn't know his last name. And I
Oh,
thought, I'm just thinking that, but it was a lot of women on there. Was like, oh, you thought I thought I was the the only one. And because a lot of them is one night stands, and it's like, dang, you having a baby by somebody
in
and you don't,
2026,
yeah,
if you watching the news,
mm-hmm,
if you see what's going on, if you love yourself, if you want to grow old,
mm-hmm, yeah,
if you want to see your children grow up and mature,
yeah,
having a one night stand with a person you don't know and ending up pregnant is
mm-hmm,
dangerous.
yeah,
That says you don't love yourself and you out here trying to kill yourself,
yeah.
and that's nothing cute about that.
Also, too, not to cut you off, I want to say this. We also understand that a lot of stuff that's been going around has been AI generated, and a lot of bots where they do stuff to make us fight against each other.
Right.
They create different
Scenarios.
scenarios, they create different pages, and it's really not even a person. It's, AI,
About.
because they're doing that to keep up the drama between us. We do understand that. But when
And
it
when we
comes
say us, not to cut you off, but
yeah.
can you define us? When we say us,
I'm
we're
speaking,
literally
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about the culture. We're
Yeah,
talking
we're
about
talking about the
us.
culture. Yes, that's
Because
it.
other
Yeah,
people don't have these problems that we have. They
yeah.
women ain't outside with their ass out. They
Mhm.
women ain't out here being everybody baby mama.
Yeah.
They men ain't out here just fucking on everybody, being
Mhm.
community dick. That
Yeah.
ain't their problems.
And if
So
they do, we don't
we
see
don't know
it.
about it.
We
They
don't.
keep it under
Yeah, they
wraps.
keep it under wraps. That's so that so that you all can say, well, you don't know about. We don't. But what we do know is,
Yeah, our business in the street and their
yes,
business is hidden and
there you
tucked
go.
away.
Stop putting our business in the street. Stop putting your ass in the street, and then getting mad that the men that's around you want your ass. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking the truth. But
But that's
you can,
fair.
yeah, you can. I know it's more on the list.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we are almost there. So it says, remember the last one we was
Mm-hmm.
talking about was give reassurance but not
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
Yeah.
Knows how to lead without telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel special but treats everyone with respect.
Mm-hmm.
High standards but accept flaws. Builds a future but lives in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Can fix things. So you want the man to be handy.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to be rich. You want him to be smart. You want him to be kind. You want him to be thoughtful and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fair things, but I don't know that every man is going to be handy. And I don't know that every man is going to be available if you want him to have very high money streams.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he got to have a lot of money, he's probably busy.
Yeah.
Can protect emotionally. Can protect financially.
Mm-hmm.
Can communicate spiritually. Can grow with you.
Yeah.
Already healed. Now, I think that's a ridiculous one because are all of us already fully 100% healed, or do we all have some parts of us that we still working on?
We're always going to be working on ourselves.
Right.
I mean,
so I think
no
that
matter
one
what,
was
yeah.
pretty unrealistic because you should want the person you can heal with and not saying you need them to come just already wrapped up in the perfect paper, like the perfect gift.
You could say you want a man that is willing to put in the work or putting in the work to heal and open to suggestions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Open to growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No baggage, but understands her baggage. Nah, girls, y'all gotta stop. So y'all want to sit all kind of bags on this man's table, but he can't sit one on y'all's.
Yeah.
That's not fair. Experience, but not to experience. I get that because nobody wants somebody that anybody had, and that goes for a man or a woman. If the world ain't had you, it just is it's creepy. Sorry. Because who want that?
This one dude did an analogy. He said he got a drink and he put water in the cup, right? And he had everybody in there to stick their finger in it, right? And then everybody wiped their hands off. And then he told the woman, would you still drink this? And she said no. And he was like, that's what men feel. When a man,
that's what women feel.
But the difference is that
because if you didn't put your in this one and that one and that one and that one, and we walk in the room and all the bitches say hey to you,
yes,
I'm cool.
But then also on the other hand, you all say to us, if we don't know how to make you all climax, that's a problem. So how
Read a
can,
book, watch a movie,
but reading a
figure
book,
it out.
reading
But
a,
I don't need you to have
you have to figure
150
it out.
bodies
Yeah.
on you and you didn't. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
We gonna insert a picture right here
Yeah, a picture.
so that
Right
y'all
here.
can see. It's this picture of a tree, but it's
Uh-huh.
really not a tree. It's a man.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, all of the branches is this man's
Mhm.
penis,
Mm.
dick, whatever you want to say, right? And all of these things that's on the tree is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
When you see and understand what that soul swapping looks like and how you taking on all of these energies and spirits,
Spiritually, yes, I get what you're saying.
that
I'm
is
with you.
disgusting.
I'm with you spiritually. I
So
understand.
if you need to
yes.
learn from having 100 bodies on you as a man, count me out. Take me out the group chat
Okay, I got
because
you.
I'm cool.
I get what you're saying spiritually. I do understand that. But we can also speak on it from a physical standpoint. And they have shown that a woman that have multiple men that release inside of her, it changes her as a woman, like mentally, physically, it changes you, right? Spiritually, yes, it changes a man, but it doesn't affect us physically the way
But
that
it affects your money
yeah, but see, we're gonna
because
get to
energy
you.
change your money.
I'm,
So when you
I'm not
around
saying that.
here
I'm not
dealing
saying
with
that it's
low
wrong.
vibrational
Yeah,
one night
I
stands,
get you.
cause she do that thing that you like,
Yeah, uh-huh.
and you can't figure out why your money is funny,
Yeah.
and why your work ain't working right, why
Mhm.
your car just broke down.
Yeah.
So energy is transferable.
Yeah.
So while yeah, a woman
Mhm.
can walk around with all of these entities inside of her body
Mhm.
and be
Yeah.
a little crazy,
Yeah.
y'all also be a little crazy, but y'all
Yeah.
don't even know it because just because you can wipe it off, you can't wipe off energy.
You can't wipe off
It's
the
on
spirit.
you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That soul on you.
No, I got you, and I'm not stating that I'm correct. I'm not stating that she's wrong. We're just speaking
No,
on
this
things
not right
that,
or
yeah,
wrong.
we're
This
just
is
speaking on it. That's what, yeah.
here's what
Mhm.
all of these elements
These
look
elements,
like.
yeah. And this is what people are talking about or not talking about and not having the conversation the way that they need. And then, I'll because then you have men speak on it like this as well too. Why is it that physically a man can have a baby every day, but a woman can only get pregnant once every, I'll say
9
12,
months.
9 months, but by the time you need to heal up and stuff like that. So we're going to say, 11 to 12 months, right?
Okay.
So you need to get your body right. But a man can, in one vial of sperm, can get hundreds of women pregnant at once. They're going to speak about, hey, naturally, physically, in our nature, men are different than women, and we are supposed to go out and sow our royal oats. This is what men are going to say. Some men think like that, some men don't. But I do understand what you're
You
saying.
know what I want to
spiritually.
say to the men that think like that? Love
Mhm.
yourself. Love yourself
Mhm.
enough to know that every woman shouldn't have access to you nor your sperm. Because that's
Okay.
disgusting.
I got you.
So, ladies,
Mhm.
I just read almost a whole book on what y'all say y'all want, right? And not taking anything away, because some of those things we all want. But some of the things were very unrealistic because
Yeah.
what on earth does it mean for this man to be reassuring, but you don't want constant reassurance? What does that look like? So you want it on every other Tuesday?
Mhm.
You want it just when you need it? Like, what does that exactly look like? And how can a man figure that out? Because I'm a woman and I don't get it. So
Mhm.
how is a man supposed to get it?
I'll say this. Looking at that list, it seems like women are looking for Jesus. You want somebody that's perfect, and nobody will ever give you perfection because nobody on this earth is perfect. We all flawed. No matter how much work you put in, how much healing you do, how much reading you do, we are all flawed, right? But you go in and you look at the things that men want as well too, and what women want on there. Some of the things it's not bad to ask for. Some of those things are okay, right? But when you start to say that you want all of that in one person, come on, man. Like if you wrote that list down and said you wanted all of those things, women, just think about this. Everything that she said, if you write that list down, could you say that you match up with everything on that list
Oh
to
my
give to a
God.
man?
That part. because we first have to be everything we want back in return.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't ask anybody to show up for you
Yep.
and be whatever, because we are our first examples.
Yep.
So when you are looking at yourself every day and you're telling, because one of the things on the list say you don't want the man to have baggage, but you want him to take yours. So is that in children? Is
Yeah.
that in exes? Is that in bodies? Like, are you saying that you can have 5 kids from 5
Yeah.
different men and he can't have none? Like,
Mhm.
what exactly does that mean? And there's no judgment there,
Yeah.
lady. So I don't want you to think that this is a judgment call, because we're not saying anything that anybody wants is wrong. What
Mhm.
we're saying is part of the toxic conversation that we have amongst each other
Yeah.
as a culture, and why we can't get together and why we're so divided is because they tell us to look everywhere outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think when we start looking internally, we
Mhm.
will start to see the results we want, because we have to be the first mirror. We have to see ourselves first before we can look in anybody else's glass and try to clock them.
Yeah. I would say this to piggyback off what you're saying. You have to fix yourself first before you can help somebody fix themselves. It was an analogy. This guy had all of the bricks that he needed to build his house, right? But every time a neighbor would come because they needed some bricks for their house, he would help them to the point to where he wasn't able to build his house anymore because he had given out so much of the things that he needed.
He didn't save none for himself.
He didn't save none for himself. So what she just stated was, in using that analogy that I said, is that you have to fix yourself first. You have to work on you first and get yourself together before you state and say, I need all of this for somebody. Because you know that you can't give all of those things to yourself, to someone else, if you haven't worked on you to be able to say, you know what, I'm better now. I can give this. But you go down that list and you realize you can't give all of that, not at once, because we're forever changing.
But you want to hear what the men said?
Go ahead. Tell me what the men said.
And I'm gonna laugh before I say it.
Okay.
Because here's the list for the men.
Yes. Read that long list.
They want peace.
Mm-hmm.
They want respect.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
want loyalty,
Uh-huh.
attraction,
Yeah.
and sex. That's the end of the list.
Consistent.
100 men.
Consistent.
Consistent sex.
Consistent sex.
100
yes.
men.
Mhm.
And there's only 5 things here.
5.
5.
Yep.
Not 100.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a book. Across the board, they just want to be peaceful. They just want to be respected.
Mhm.
They just want your loyalty.
Yeah.
They want attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And they want sex all the time.
Yeah. Now, I want you to think about something in that list. It goes back to something that the women asked for, to accept them. You said that statement, accept their baggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Notice how we didn't say that you got to be all of this. We accept you
For who you are.
if you're willing to just give these few things. Because if you give me peace, you have peace. If you give me loyalty, you have loyalty. All of the things that they want in there is covered in the 5 things that
So
we asked
as a
for.
man,
Mhm.
what does peace look like? Because y'all be out here
Yeah.
dysregulating people's nervous systems and stuff. So
But
you
those
can't.
are men that's not peaceful.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
so
yeah.
I want to talk to you because you're
Yeah.
a man,
Mhm.
and I want to say,
Yeah.
when a man asks for peace,
Mhm.
he too first have to
Needs
be
to
the
be
peace he
peace,
want
yes.
back in
Correct,
return.
correct,
So you have
yes.
to keep our nervous system at
Yes.
peace,
Mhm.
so that we're regulated to give you what you want.
But then that means that you're saying that we have that control over you, because we
No.
should.
But
and-
y'all energy lead. So the reality of any relationship is that the man energy lead the situation. The
That's
woman
not
energy
always-
follow.
That's not always the case, because if that was the case, most men that be quiet, what the list said, I'm gonna tell you, it said you want a man to not shut down.
Right.
Most men shut down because when we're trying to have the conversation and tell you how we feel and what we're thinking, instead of staying on our level, a lot of women go higher. So now, instead of arguing with you, we shut down because we don't want to keep having the conversation. Or if we say, you know what, okay, you're right, we shutting down, but we realize at that moment, if I keep talking to you,
You're not listening.
you're not listening, and we're going to continue to argue. So when women say a man's energy lead, that's not always the case, because in order for you to be be around a leader, you have to know how to follow. And a lot of women don't know how to follow because they're independent. What they said they want to have, they
Yeah, and you can't be
independent. You
independent in a
can't be
relationship.
you see what I'm saying?
That doesn't
So
make
it's like
sense.
you're contradicting what you say you want. You say you want a man to lead, but then you want to be independent. You say you want a man to know how to show you what to do, but not tell you what to do. It's almost like we cannot do our job as a man because you want to tell us how to be a man, but we can't tell you how to be a woman.
You know what the old
Yeah.
ladies used to say?
What they used to say.
Men need to feel wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole term of "I'm a woman, hear me roar," stop roaring.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop roaring.
Yeah,
Because you
can't outroar a
can't
man.
be louder than the man in the room, because the man do have to feel needed and wanted in some way.
Yeah.
Now, that is not to say that you can't be successful. You can be as successful as you want, but you
Yeah.
don't have to be so like you have big dick energy too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it comes off as big dick energy.
Yeah.
It's not giving, I just want to make sure that I'm a whole person. I think any man can respect a woman for wanting to be a whole person. And if that means that you need to start a business, be successful, conquer your whatever, make money, get to the bag, you can do that without that looking like you trying to wear the shoes or the pants, as they say, of a man.
Now, this is what I want you to think about, right? Most men that are successful, they don't think about success as I got this money, I'm good, I don't need a woman. When a man becomes successful, we think about how can we give to our woman? How can we take care of our family? How can we make sure that people around us are good? A lot of women that become successful financially, what's the one thing that
they don't
say
need
first?
A man.
You see what I'm saying?
But see, in women's defense, not saying it's right, right? Because this is not a right or wrong thing. This is just, we're speaking for the people, these 100 women, these mystery women, and the women that's listening, right? So in women's defense, men been out here doing some weird shit for a very long time and have hurt, drugged these women around, some of them. Not saying every woman.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But their experiences haven't been the best. So I think where we're landing at when they're like, oh, I don't need a man, I think that's because in their mind, they're thinking that I don't need the stress. I don't need the trauma. I don't need to do all this stuff that this man want me to do. And I can be peaceful over here with my money because, in the past, and when I say the past, I mean decades ago, when women would seek a man, they were seeking money or, dependence. They was looking for a person to help them out.
To take care of them.
Yeah, so now that women is not really looking for that, a lot of men can't handle what women actually want, is what they're saying.
But that's because women have always said we need a man that's financially stable. That's what you speak about first. Not you, I'm just saying as a whole.
As a group, that's what the women lead with.
If you lead with financial stability, and financial stability now is $100,000 or more. That's what most people are saying. It could be the bots or women, $100,000 or more, right? So when you start speaking of that in percentage wise, all of these women saying they want this small percentage of men, you giving those men the opportunity to have a galore of choices of women, right? So then I want you to go back and I want you to also think about this as a woman. When a woman has, or go back to when a woman says she don't need a man, right? I want women that says that to think of this. If you're working and you have a 9-to-5 and you're working for someone, you're still working for a man most of the time. Most of the time you're still working for a man. And that is not just your money. That position can be taken away any moment. And that money that you was making can go away. Even if you have your own business, sales goes up and down.
True. So, but wouldn't that be the same for a man too?
Men don't say we don't need women. When
well,
we make money, we want
want
more women.
You want.
You see what I'm saying?
No, don't say y'all want more women.
No, I'm saying
stuff I was talking about.
I'm speaking in the aspect of when we just being honest.
You just need one.
I'm not. I
maybe
didn't say that
two.
you're wrong. But
if that's what you're into, but you got to be honest, because the problem is not about how many women you want. The problem is about lying about the number of women you want.
I got you, but I'm speaking. I'm not saying that we're right or wrong. I'm just saying we're just speaking on that aspect of it. When
But
a
you're right.
woman has
Men
money,
look for women when they got money.
we
They
look
don't
for
want to be by themselves
we
with the
look for
money. That's not
we look
fun.
for women when we don't have a lot of money to still try to find a way to take care of her. That's why you have a man out here working 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that home is good.
Right.
Because we want to make sure that the woman is good when we up, when we down, when we're sad, when we happy. We always want to make sure that the woman is good. But when a woman gets money on a broader scale, not individually, say that they don't want us or they don't need us. And then at that point, it's like, but then you get a man coming to your life, and then now he's talking about finances all the time because you lead with it, and then you get mad that he's leading with what you say that you want first.
Right.
So it's like
it's confusing.
It's confusing. Like, how the hell we supposed to do when you tell us what to do, we do it, and then you tell us we didn't do it right, and then we do what you told us that we should have done, and then we do that, and then you tell us, well, you should have thought outside of the box. You should have read between the lines. I shouldn't have to tell you. Dang.
I don't like to read between the lines. I don't read between the lines either.
I'm just saying, but
I'm very, I don't do shades of gray. Like, I'm not a mind reader. So I get that, and I'm a woman, so I get that. If I was a man, that would annoy me too, because I don't want to read between the lines. Just say what you mean and mean what you say, and all the stuff in between, we don't need it.
And again, we're not stating that we're right in our thoughts.
No, this is not a right or wrong conversation.
This is a conversation to open up and talk about things that is hindering our community
from partnership, like from real partnership.
That's what has went away. It's not about what we can do for each other. It's about what you can give to me. And it's not just our our generation, right?
Oh no,
it started years ago in how they put us against each other. And that's for another topic, because you can go in a lot deeper than that. But if we don't see all of the stuff that they have done to put us where we are and try to fix it as a whole, we're going to continue to go down. And as a man that loves black women, I love black women.
Well, that's good.
The darker you are, the more I love you, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just my thing, you know.
Well, that's happy to know, because we get a bad stigma a lot. You know, like they said, the statistics say we're at the bottom. You know, now we got to compete with the other girls. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's too much going on, because at the heart of us, I think we're all good people, even if we've had some sort of trauma, right? Women have good intentions at the heart of them most of the time. Now, we're going to say there's that 20% that's just toxic, and they're going to always be toxic. But the majority are good people at the heart of them.
They're
who's just lost
fear.
Yeah, who's just lost something along the way. And now they're just, got walls up.
But, I'll say this. As men, we're taught by seeing society, and I explain to you. When I was younger, most men can tell you, when we were younger, the type of men girls that we were attracted to and wanted, the type of men that they was attracted to and the things that they went after, we saw that. I mean,
hustlers.
You saw they pulling up. Back in the day, it was not a problem for a 25-year-old to pull up and pick up a 16-year-old. It wasn't a problem. Back then. I'm not saying that it was right. I'm just saying back in the day.
We're not talking about right or wrong, but I'm glad you said that, because I was just telling somebody the other day that while everybody is in the uproar about age differences and the files and pedophilia, which is wrong, right? No grown-up should ever want a child, not male or female.
Yeah.
But at the heart of us, I could remember my entire life, even being younger, older men have always dealt with really young girls. I could remember being in school, and it was 20-something-year-old men outside the school picking up their girlfriends, and the girlfriends was in school with me.
Yes.
So it's like, that's normal, but now it's not.
But those are the women now that has grown up and saying that it's wrong for men to do that, because they said it was grooming, right? But for example, if a man or a teenage boy, 16, 17-year-old, is being messed with by a woman, in society eyes, it's not considered grooming, although they say it is, but it's not frowned upon the way it is on women.
It should be.
So a lot of us have been groomed by older women. I've had an experience when I was younger.
How
I
young?
thought, huh?
How young?
I probably was, not probably, I was 13.
And how old was the woman?
She was 19.
Okay.
It didn't stop until
That's not that
see?
horrible.
No, see how you said that? You see? Now, if a man, if it was swapped and the girl was 13 and
I
the
would say
man
the
was
same thing. Let me tell you why. I say the same thing because depending on how the 19-year-old started school, that 13-year-old and that 19-year-old could both be in high school at the same time. And so technically when you're in high school, you're considered to be with your peers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't what's good. I'm a boy mom. So what's
Mhm.
good for you for the goose is good for the gander.
Yes.
So in reality, that is normal from how I grew up.
Okay.
Not
I got
saying
you.
that it makes sense because of course
But
the
that's just-
maturity
yeah.
level of a
Mhm.
19-year-old versus a 13-year-old is
Mhm.
completely different.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, we know that that is not a good timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, those people are in the same peer group together.
I got
So
you.
when you're in the same peer group together, you're
Mhm.
going to run into people that are, you know, on a different seniors versus freshmen.
And see, you have a different understanding because you're a boy mom and you have to look at it from a different perspective.
Right.
But for the women that don't have to look at it from a different perspective,
They see that as
they
being
see that
completely
that's
grooming.
is grooming, right?
Even if the little girl was fast and went at the
Correct.
boy.
That's so you see what I'm saying?
Because
So
little girls are fast.
boys and girls
And I know
are
that.
treated differently.
Because I remember my
just-
son was in the 5th grade and somebody's little 5th grade daughter had a ball vagina and it was in that boy phone. And I was over it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Uh-huh.
I understand that all girls aren't innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I also went to an all-girls school.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
For high school. I was around 550 girls for 4 years. I've seen some things. I've seen some things and I've heard some things, and girls can get into some things.
Yeah.
Not making it right,
But
not condoning it, but it's reality. So you're right. Women do sometimes lose the reality of the situation, and everything is not grooming. But what the reality of the situation is, when you reach a certain level of maturity, you shouldn't want an immature person.
Yeah.
You should want somebody in the same maturity level as you.
I agree, and I'll say it from the standpoint of this. Men don't have a problem with dealing with women that are still growing and immature.
Right.
Women do. Women look for a man that's mature because with maturity, it comes with protection, it comes with provision, it comes with all of those things that you got on that list, right? But when what we want is those little 5 simple things. And you think an immature girl could not give us those things?
The immature girl can definitely give you the sex. Because the immature girl haven't lived enough to know she's not the immature girl, right?
Yes.
Let me figure out the best way to say this. Because I think grown men like young girls because they're easy.
Not always.
They're coachable.
Easy in
As
a
we used
different
to
way.
say when I was growing up, all they want is some sneakers.
Yeah.
They want simple shit.
And
men can handle that, and they don't ask no questions. So and they already kind of hypersexual because they're just learning about certain things, so they're gonna go with the narrative. They're gonna do what you ask.
I got you.
A woman that's a little more mature, that has lived a little bit, she's not just gonna go with the narrative, and she's not just gonna do what you ask, and those sneakers ain't gonna tickle her fancy. She gonna want something a little different.
And I agree with you. I'm just speaking in the aspect of how a lot of men think. See, if I have a woman that she don't ask for much, it's easier to provide for her than it is for a woman that requires a lot.
So what do you call it requires a lot? Give the people an example.
Okay, for an example, the women that wants the list that we just had, you got to be making a certain amount of money. You got to look a certain way. You got to be in tune with us. You have to know what we're saying without us saying it to you. Like, that's a lot. And then if I fall short and financially I'm not at a place to where I need to be, it's a fear that that woman is going to walk away and get the next guy.
The next man.
And fellas, you have to take responsibility. If you get a woman like that, that's your fault, because it is some good women out here that's not like that, right?
It's a lot of us out here, but we're not outside. We definitely watching crime trials. We definitely at the house. We not in the street. And we not doing all the weird shit. And our ass cheeks is definitely not out in the grocery store. So you probably not looking at us.
But see, we do. This is the other part. most good men look at women when they look they roughest. You hear
I
women
heard
all
that.
say all the time, this man tried to holler at me and I look rough,
Crazy.
crazy. Because if we can love your base, we can love everything else that you add
The
on
bare
to the
bones.
base, right? So that's the thing is I feel like, and not to go away from what we was talking about on the aspect of men and liking younger women and women liking mature men. At the end of the day, if it's too young, you're wrong. If you're breaking the law, you're wrong, right? For men and women. But men like what they like, women like what they like. We can't get mad at each other and say that we're wrong for liking what we like. That's just what we like. Now, if you're doing it the right way, like I said, if you're not being illegal with it, then yes,
No, don't be illegal
don't
with
be
it.
illegal with it. But at the end of the day, the list that you all have, we can't say that everything on that list is incorrect or that's wrong and you shouldn't want those things. It's a lot of things on there that you want.
That's
But
fair.
also too, in our list of peace is, it covers a multitude of things. We don't want you talking back to us. We don't want a woman that's hot tempered, that don't know how to listen, don't know how to follow. So it covers those things, right?
Right.
Because if in peace, when you're peaceful within, you're not going to bring all of that hell to us.
But see, remember we started off by saying that the problem is they teach us a lot to look outside of ourselves instead of look internally.
Correct. Yeah.
So the goal here is, like you said, we're not saying to lower your standards. What we're saying is to be realistic about
your
what you're
standards, yeah.
actually asking for
Yep.
and to look inside of yourself before you ask.
And make sure that what you're asking for, you are able to give. Not just willing, but able to give as well. That's very important.
Right. So maybe the goal is not about finding someone who checks every box. Maybe the goal here is to find someone who is real, who's valuable, and who can grow with you,
Yeah.
and y'all can check each other's boxes.
That's it. And not necessarily stating that you can't get what you want, but just know when you get a finished product, let's say the finished man, and he has the money and he has the looks and he has the clout and all of those things, when he has that, just know you ain't the only woman that want him. You got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 women that want that man. And at that point, ask yourself, what do you have that the other 60 women that want him don't have? You got to be honest with yourself. So at some point, if you don't see that you asking for all of those things is putting you in a place to where you're looking for a man that don't exist, so you're going to continue to be single, or you're going to continue to deal with the craziness out here. If you don't see that that's what you're doing, you're causing yourself the problem. You're causing yourself the harm.
Well, I just want to say, we want to know what y'all think.
What you think?
So tell us one thing that's on your list. Drop that in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because we want to continue the conversation.
Yes.
And we have many more topics like this that we want to
Most
uncover, because the goal here is to not separate us, but to bring us closer together and to help each other understand how the man thinks versus how the woman thinks, so that we can get out of our own way and get what we actually want instead of chasing things that we don't want.
Yeah. And on that note, hey, listen, this is the Healed and Heard show. We're here to help people heal so you can be heard, not only outside, but within as well, too. And with that being said, it's your boy, Willie J. I got my girl, Kamika, here. We love you. Peace, and we out.
Next time.